All right, welcome back to another episode of STL Real Estate Roundtable. I'm your host, Jaden Barr, CEO and team leader of Keller Williams Realty Chesterfield. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest. Clay Savage. Clay, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go. Let's dive right in.
Cool.
So I start off every podcast pretty much the same way. What got you started in a career in real estate?
Yeah, and so I guess I could probably go all the way back to when I was doing architecture. So I started, went to Mizzou and then went to Champaign and Illinois and Champaign for grad school. Did the whole architecture, got my master's and all that, and was working in that field. And I was just kind of like, there's got to be something else, like I liked architecture, and I say like architecture is more like I call it an art degree, so I don't want anybody to come after me, any architects to come after me, but and that's how, to me, you got to love it. Like, and I loved it. I just didn't love it to the extent where like, I started having kids, so I got 2 kids, and then you're leaving early. Our office was down in Soulard in Lafayette Square, and it was awesome, but you're leaving early, you're getting home late, and then you see your kid, you get home at 6 and you see your kids for an hour or 2 because they're young. And then you wake up and do it again the next day. I'm like, and then the weekends, you want to go play golf or something. But you feel bad because you're not with them. So it was more for me, it was more family. Like, hey, what's going to get me more time with the family? And then, also like architecture is, I would say, severely underpaid for how much schooling you have to go through. And then just kind of like the level of, I think all architecture are, they should be paid more, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, financially it made sense. And then just time with the family is kind of what made me get into it. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you got licensed how long ago?
2020.
2020.
So 5 years. Yeah.
What part of 2020?
Like right before March.
Okay.
Right
So like
before
right,
COVID. Oh, yeah.
right when things were shutting down.
Oh, yeah.
Take me through like the emotional roller coaster that probably was.
Oh my gosh. So I didn't go full time. So I was part-time doing architecture.
Okay.
and then I was an agent.
Okay.
And so our group is the Middleburg Savage group. So Margie Middleburg is like my mentor. She was at Berkshire Hathaway. And so I jumped to Berkshire Hathaway. That's where I started, and really did architecture and real estate. And I was like doing okay in real estate. And then architecture was doing good, and then it just kind of like real estate got a little busier, and then architecture and I just felt like I was sorry, I don't know if you can curse on here, but
You can curse.
I feel like I was doing 50% of both, right? And not able to show anybody houses during the weekdays or anything like that. So that's kind of, I forgot your question.
Okay. So when did you go full time? Like how long
I
would
went
that
full
take?
time. It took me, I think it was probably at least a year.
A year.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was at least a year.
Okay.
And then we felt like financially comfortable to
Yep.
take the jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a similar story as me. I think it took me 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Then I was kind of like, got to the point where I felt like I was doing a disservice to both. Like, wasn't really fully present with my 9 to 5, and then also could not fully serve clients
Right.
super well. So once the real estate income started surpassing what I was making with the 9 to 5, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
For sure. And you always, I initially was just like, I'm just going to quit. I just wanted to do real estate full time, and then I'll make more money because I'm only doing it half time. So if I do it full time, I'm make so much more money. But I'm glad I didn't quit architecture right away, but that was the thought process. Which is not the case.
Yeah. You mentioned the importance of family. So talk to me about like what real estate has provided you in terms of like just being a present husband and father. And
Yeah, man, real estate just frees up. It's definitely not less time. I'm definitely working a lot more hours than I was in architecture, which was a lot then too, but it's just when you want to work, right? Like not always when you want to work, but like most of the time it's, hey, get up early, get a workout in, but answering emails while you're working out or something like that on
on the treadmill,
Yeah.
we responded to text.
Yeah, sending out listings or whatever. And then when they go to bed, like once they go to bed, then start firing on some emails. And obviously during the workday, but I got young kids, so I grabbed my youngest from school today, and just like whenever anything works. So it's definitely freed up in a sense of, hey, I can go do those things and be present with them. But also real estate is tough because you're not 100% present all the time, and you're always on. right? But that was a big factor of why I even jumped, just to have that time with them.
Yeah, and we've talked about the struggle of being fully present, like at home. We've talked about that previously in
Yeah.
these conversations. Like, do you feel like that's an area of growth for you as it is me? Like, what's that process been like? And
100%, yeah. I think it matters too on your partner also. Like my wife has been great, and so it's an adjustment, right? Like she's a teacher, so she's locked in on here's her hours. So, but I'm free. Like I can go work out at noon if I want, or I can go have a lunch, or and so
hit a bucket of balls.
yeah, exactly. It's a little different, but I think that support of your partner is a big thing. It just takes time, just getting a routine going, and I still don't have like a solid set routine because kids get sick at school or like listing appointments pop up, or so, but it's just more of being able to roll with it, but also prioritizing like, hey, I don't have, this might be a different segue, but I don't have like hey, I don't answer anything after 5 p.m. or anything like that.
Right.
And I feel like, I don't know if that's just because 5 years isn't that long in it, and I don't really want to turn away business, but I'm still trying to find that, hey, I don't need every person that comes to me. I don't need all that business, but I feel bad. I feel bad if I'm like, all right, I'm not going to answer you past 5, that's something I definitely need to work on, because
It's like setting expectations, boundaries.
Yeah, yeah, because it's not a one size fits all kind of thing, right, for clients. So yeah, so that's one of my biggest kind of challenges for sure.
Cool. I mean, you've grown a pretty impressive real estate business for 5 years in. Like, what do you think have been the keys to success so far?
I don't know. I mean, I think you just gotta care. I mean, and that comes with a little gray area, because there's some realtors that don't care, I'm sure that do a lot of business, right? So, I mean, first you just got to care about the people that you're working with, and then second, you still gotta, like, doing this, like, you still gotta market and stuff. So, like, I haven't been doing a bunch of social media, but it's so much easier to post something on social media and have your friend from high school see it that still follows you and is, oh, Clay's a realtor, versus me calling my high school friends, like, and they're like, who are you? Like, what?
At 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, and they're like, why are you calling?
Exactly.
Like, what's wrong?
So yeah, so much more passive, and it works. It definitely works. But yeah, I mean, I think, and then Margie's been a great mentor. So she was at Berkshire for 30 years or something, and now we're at Coldwell Banker for the last couple of years we've been. And she's like a workaholic. She's not. Our team's structured a little differently, where it's me, Terry Ray, Karen McKitty, and Margie Metalberg, and we're structured in a way where we're just 4 agents, and we just group our volume. So we're not. Margie's like, hey, I'm working hard. I'm taking these deals and I'm working them. Like she has definitely passed deals down, but for the most part, she's like, hey, I'm working hard. I'm getting these clients. So it's kind of instilled in you, like, hey, I'm not just gonna pass it off to somebody else. Like, I want to take care of them.
I got to go find my business too.
Right, and like, if somebody's calling Clay Savage to work with me, I think they would want Clay Savage versus somebody else. So, and that might just be because I'm not to that scale yet. Obviously, I know there's only so much of me that can, so many hours in the day. So it might change if it gets bigger, but right now, that's kind of what she instilled in me, is, hey, just take care of your clients and be there for your clients versus somebody else. And so I think that's helped. It's hard to say. It's hard. There's different ways to succeed in this industry.
For sure. Yeah, I've talked about that in previous episodes of, like, that's the beauty of this, is like, you get to be an entrepreneur, you get to build your business how you want to build it, you get to set the expectations that you want to set within your business, and definitely a lot of different methods for growing a successful real estate business. Like, some people love open houses, some people love cold calling, some people love door knocking.
Yeah.
Like, other people can't stand that, and they're just gonna camp out on social media and build a lead generation system through that, right? But the reality is, like, you gotta have leads in order to have a business. And so figure out what method you're gonna use to generate leads, and then go do it consistently. Like, you can't just sit and wait for business to come to you, or else, it might work in some markets, and maybe for a very, very small percentage of people that just have a huge network already built that's just going to funnel leads to them.
Right.
But you got to go work, right?
Yeah.
There's no silver bullet.
Right. That's the hard part of just saying, hey, you just got to care, because you do have to care. And that's the biggest thing I would say. But again, just because you care doesn't mean people are going to come flocking to you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and how you market yourself matters too. Like, you've got a good social media presence. I feel like, I look at mine, I'm like, oh, I could always be better. Like there's always ways you can be more consistent or more strategic with it. But, you've got a good following, I feel like. And what's that kind of, what's your content strategy? Do you have a certain method or strategy with
a podcast? So you're ahead of me. I'm just trying to stay, I don't want to say stay relevant, but just stay in front of people. And there's weeks I'll go without posting, and you listen to all these other social media real estate agents to like not post like just sold or just listed, or sometimes that's all I got. Right? Like sometimes that's all I don't. If I'm not going to post, I don't have a video to post or anything. Why not? At least that. At least I got
something.
People seeing that I'm doing stuff.
Yeah,
and that's another hard part too. It's social media, like what you're doing here, like batching these podcasts together and stuff. That scheduling is the biggest thing I think that I need to work on, and that's for social media. I think that's probably the top thing. Like just schedule it out and do it. Whereas I'm just flying on the seat of my pants. Like, all right. It's Sunday night and I need some content.
I need something. Yeah.
Throw together some crappy video or just sold or what. But I think that's important. Just schedule it.
It's a copycat game too. I mean, like you just steal ideas from other agents and other people and like make it your own. And it's
I think, and then the value that you provide is great. Like the value and like these podcasts, like hearing different people talk about their profession and just how they're going about everything is awesome, and that's value. But also people just want to see who you are. Right?
Yeah.
I can meet you for coffee and we can talk for 30 minutes and see if we're a good match and you can be a client or what. But if I can look you up on social media and see that there's stuff I don't like or stuff that I do like, I can get to know you a lot better.
For sure. Sharing that personal side, I think is key.
Yeah. Do you have a professional in a personal?
I do not. No. I started off that way, but then quickly realized like no one cares about the just solds and like the business side of things. Like they want to know who I am, and then find ways to incorporate like the business side into the personal
100%.
personal side too.
I'm on board.
I've got like content pillars, so to speak.
Okay.
Of like, okay, here's what I want my page to look like. And here's kind of like the different buckets of content that I fill.
Okay.
So
yeah.
That's kind of how I think of it. I'm like, okay, the past 2 posts have been all about real estate. I want to share like a family oriented post or golf or faith, XYZ, and workout, fitness.
Yeah. And then you kind of see how they do, right? And see what people are gravitating towards. Yeah. I think it's important to show your personal side on your business. Like, you are the brand, right? Like, I mean, that's what everybody talks about. Like, hey, you might have a brokerage you work for, but you are the brand.
Color your lines. Yeah.
So why would they want to see what you do in your personal life and what what your life's like? So,
let's transition back to the business. So what's been like the most challenging aspect of growing your real estate business up until this point?
So 5 years in, I'm kind of at that point where we've got like, I've had first couple of years were pretty good, and then 2 years ago was pretty bad, and we're back up, and now we're trending in the right direction.
There we go.
We're up. Yes, sir. But at that point where like you're doing enough deals to where we do have a team, but infrastructure and kind of systems and like where do I go and how do we manage the workload that's coming through? Because I mean, there's a bunch of agents that are transitioning out, like older agents that are transitioning out that need some place in real estate. If you don't really ride off into the sunset,
I don't really retire.
Your clients are going to be getting postcards, right, from other people, from other agents. So that's where like, some other agents are again getting older. So what do we do with that business, and how do we prepare, I guess?
Yeah.
And how do I prepare as, software wise, I guess, to how like CRMs and doing a bunch of research on that. And I'm still down here on it. Like I don't know very much about them at all, and then I'm cheap. I don't pay for them all, but that's the biggest thing is like, hey, let's prepare for more business because why not, right? Let's get ahead of the curve once we get some more business, keep going. But what do we do with it when we have it? Because I don't want to get the business and then fumble it.
Yeah,
and then it's gone.
Or how do we grow the business while maintaining the level of service and maintaining our time of family, like which is the biggest priority for you, right?
Huge
of making sure that you're present at home and not working during.
Oh yeah.
And still maintain the golf game, which is a big priority too, right?
Yes, I wish I could say it's like riding a bike, but it's not. It's not.
Have you found like golf to be like an avenue for your business yet, or like
is hell my wife watching this podcast and says, because that's a tough one. 5 hours on a golf course for a meeting.
Tough sell.
Tough sell.
Yeah.
Tough sell. So haven't been able to sell that one too well, but I mean, I think it definitely does. Like and I act like I don't play, but I do play a good amount, and even just 9 holes here, and like we play 9 holes here and there is 3 hours. You're getting to know somebody, so I think it definitely helps because it's such a long game, and you can definitely see people's character kind of shine through, like in a game, right? Like, I mean, it's one of those games where if somebody's, and again, if you're just playing around for fun, it's one thing, but people cheating or something, or like you just kind of see people's character.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, love golf. Grew up playing golf. So
yeah. What do you feel like is in the St. Louis market? Do you feel like there's anything that's standing out to you right now as far as how the market is currently?
Just unpredictable, I guess, is kind of what I'm seeing. I mean, it's good. I mean, I would say it's still a good market, but it's, again, that depends on who you talk to. But just, I mean, I got stuff that's sat, and I'm like, I don't know why this is sitting. We're priced well, and like it's. So I just think there's uncertainty in the market, and just in the economy in general, and so buyers are holding back a little bit, and it's just that much more important to make sure you have all your ducks in a row, right, for the sellers or for your buyers and stuff like that. So it's still doing good, but I just think it's hard to manage, right? It's hard to manage expectations in a market where people, you're not really 100% sure. Okay, yeah. COVID, it was easy. All right, this thing's going way over.
Yeah, like, what are you willing to do?
Exactly. Here it's like, oh, I don't know if they have any offers, or I don't know where this one will go. You can kind of give your opinion, but nobody.
Yeah, I think uncertainty is the biggest thing with clients right now. Is they just don't know what the market, just the economy in general.
Right.
It's like there's uncertainty, and where there's uncertainty, there's a lot of hesitation. Making decisions, whether on the buy side or with the sell side.
Yeah. And the only thing you can do is just give them the information that you got, the best information, and let them make that decision. Like, you're never selling anybody on a house or anything like that. Here's the information. Here's the comps. Here's my opinion. Do you want my opinion? You don't want my opinion, but I'm not going to try and sell you on it.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about being in the real estate industry is that people love talking about it. It's not like you're on any other industries, but there's other industries where you're like, gosh, this guy's calling me again. Like, what's he want?
Yeah.
I'm tired of getting these calls, right?
Say it's insurance. Are you saying insurance?
Insurance, financial advising. There's a lot of different industries, but
wait, you were a financial, weren't you? Finance? Oh, what was your 9 to 5?
I was at Worldwide Technology.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, like inside sales, putting quotes together for people that were actually making money. That's what I was doing. But anyway, sorry. Like with real estate, it's like everybody's got a Zillow search set up, whether they're buying or not. Like they love looking at homes. Yeah. They love knowing what the market's doing, what interest rates are at. Like, it's just an industry and a topic that's so easy to talk about. And like everybody's curious about it. So it's not like you said, you're not selling anything. You're more so like selling yourself as like a advisor.
Yeah.
And
whoever asks you, it could be a completely different answer.
Yeah.
Right? Like, well, how's the market? I don't know. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
What kind of market will you ask?
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
It cracks me up whenever like brokerages post their numbers too. It's like numbers tell a story, and you kind of like make
You have to.
Numbers tell whatever story you want.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Right.
cracks me up. Let's talk about like the mental and aspects outside of real estate that affect our day to day work. Because I think a lot of people that look at real estate agents are like, oh, they just open houses and show doors. There's so much more that goes into it that people don't see behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So I know you work out and take that like your health seriously and things like that. Like what? How has that helped you? How has that translated over to like the business aspect?
Yeah, man. I think. I just lost my train of thought. But I mean, in terms of working out, or just in terms of just.
Yeah, working out, taking care of yourself, like the mental side of running a commission only.
Yeah. Well, because you're a therapist, I mean, definitely don't just open doors. But I mean, one thing that I've had to really work on is not letting another agent that's pissy or like another agent that's mad or something affect my time with my family, right? And it's hard, way easier said than done, right? Like you get a text on your phone at dinner, shouldn't have my phone at dinner, but text on your phone at dinner and then just ruins your night.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Falls through, or even a deal. I mean, a deal falling through is never good, but sometimes it's worse, like at work dealing with other agents that are just not respectful or anything like that. And that's what gets me going the most. And so that ruins my night, right? So then that's something that just try not to let it affect your family life or bring it home, right? I guess bring it home, even though you are home, or you're, when that comes through. But that's something that I really need to work on, is just not letting it affect everything else. It's harder. It's so much harder to do, but that, and then,
like how often are you working out? Like what, how do you prioritize that in your, because I think that's something that agents really struggle with is like taking care of themselves so that they can take care of others. Like,
oh yeah,
if you're neglecting your own physical, mental health, then you're probably not showing up in the best way.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to work out in the morning and like kind of set the day on the right path. And I mean, if I don't work out in the morning, then it's usually like you're up a little more sluggish, and then yeah, it sets the tone and definitely gets you in a better mood. I don't always love waking up early and getting it done, but then I find if I still want to work out, so if I don't get done in the morning, I'm trying to fit it in during the day, and usually during the day there's some other thing I could be doing that's better.
Yeah.
So then you feel like you're missing out on something, or you're not doing what you need to be doing, and so try and get done in the morning and get that out of the way, and then crank out the work during the day, and then home for dinner and wrestle with the kids or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's another thing. Being fit enough just to play with the kids, man. Kids are rough.
We're getting old out here.
Golly, I'm getting old. You're young. But yeah, man, just being physically fit enough just to, be present and just be able to play with them. Just be able to...
That's definitely been a mindset shift for me. Like growing up in athletics my whole life, you're told when to work out, how to work out, how much weight to lift, what exercises to do. And then that's over. And you're like, wait, so I can just work out when I want, and I can just do like bicep curls, and like, that's all I got to do.
Right.
And it's a weird transition, right?
Not necessarily like performance based anymore.
Yeah. And it's a total mindset shift from going from like, I'm training so that I can perform at the highest level I possibly can, to, oh, I'm just working out for like my own sanity, like mental health, and making sure that I'm like just a healthy person, right? Yeah. It's a weird shift that I'm still adjusting to. I feel like even 5 years out of athletics.
Yeah, well, that'll never leave you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So
where you're at right now, what would you say you're most proud of with the business that you've built?
In the business, or just like in
the
business? Just like happy clients. I don't know. Just this is what I've told a bunch of agents that have asked me. Not a bunch. I mean, I'm not like that knowledgeable, but some agents that have asked me, and it's just like, I know everybody says work on your sphere, and like that's where it's at, and make sure you're always touching them, and that's the biggest thing. Like when I first started, even I was like, all right, I'm going to do this mailer, I'm going to do this email blast or I'm going to do this event, which is all good, all great. But there's sometimes when I'm like, and I started this last year, just like, let me just pour the money that I'm doing into like a park bench sign or something, a bus stop sign, or into the people that have already bought with me, and the people that have already, I know are my clients and that have given me their trust.
Had a good experience.
And have a good experience. Why don't I do an event for them? Or why don't I give them a Starbucks card or, every once in a while? And because then those people will, again, you're touching them, and then those people will have friends, and they're not going to refer you just because you gave them a Starbucks card, but you're going to be on top of their mind versus just spending money on just ads or leads which that's all fine too. I'm not to that point to where I feel comfortable spending a bunch of money on leads, and I have enough business for myself, but I mean, maybe I'm not ruling anything out ever, but for me, I'm proud of just nurturing the referral basis, the referral sources that I have in my past clients.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think that's what a lot of agents aspire to build, is that referral based business where, you got people working for you and advocating for you and the work that you do.
Yeah. Yep. Ideally, right?
Yeah. Ideally. Yeah. Yeah. I think, I'm 5 years into the business too. I think there's definitely ebbs and flows, and getting used to, going from the corporate world where you're getting a paycheck every 2 weeks and, you're used to that, and then adjusting to like full-time sales, right? It's an adjustment. It's an emotional roller coaster. There's great months. There's months that you're like, man, I gotta get to work. I better start doing some more activities, right? Because that's the trap, is once you get busy, neglect what actually brought that busyness, right?
100%.
So I think it's a challenge that a lot of agents, including myself, have gone through.
Yeah, same. That can go from like posting on social media to mailers or to just touches in the sphere.
Yeah. And then the challenge is like, whenever you are slower than you'd like to be, like, what's your level of activity then? Like, how do you stay present and make sure that you're maintaining that positive attitude,
right?
That time, too, right?
Oh yeah.
One thing that I did have done in the past with like my database, my sphere, is sending out being humble enough to say like, hey, my business isn't where I want it to be, and I need some help. Like, I need referrals. I need business.
Yeah.
And having the humility to go to those past clients, those people that have had a great experience, or people that are in your circle that want you to win and want to see you succeed, and just telling them the reality of where you're at, and being like, hey, I got a goal to sell this many houses this year. I'm not where I want to be. Like, who do you know that's going through a major life event that I could help?
Right.
And you'd be surprised. Like, I think people want to see the reality of being a real estate agent, and the good, the bad, the ugly, and they want to see all of it.
Just post your $1 million houses all the time, right? Yeah. No, I get that 100%. Yeah, that helps just to be transparent with people, and people appreciate that. Right? Like, I don't know everything, and just saying like, hey, I've had a rough month or something, that doesn't mean I'm a bad agent.
Yeah.
Although it feels like sometimes you're like, oh, I'm awesome, and then some months you're like, man, should I do this anymore? And so, but yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to say, hey, I'm still a good agent, but the deals aren't working out, and maybe the deals aren't working out because I'm such a good agent, because I'm not letting my buyers buy this house because it's going to fall through.
There's a lot behind that.
Yeah. So, like you said, just numbers. It's hard just to go off of the numbers and like try and gauge on if you're a good agent or bad, whatever. But no, I like that. I like that, being humble enough to just to say, hey, I need some help.
Mm-hmm.
If you know anybody,
let
me know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that you earn the right to ask that question because of the value that you brought them.
Oh,
right.
It was a bad transaction.
And you don't get to ask that question if you haven't been consistently in their lives, shown up in big ways at big moments throughout your relationship with them. Like, you don't ask that question to, you don't want to be that agent that's just like, hey, you ready to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Like, you don't ask that unless you've earned the right to.
Right. So, hey, you want to grab some lunch? Just can't talk to you forever. You want to grab some lunch? You got any referrals?
Yeah.
That's right. That's not the way to go about it.
Well, I like to wrap up pretty much every episode the same way, which is what's the most impactful book or podcast that has had an effect on you?
Yeah. Thanks for letting me know this one because I didn't. I got a decent amount of books, but 12 Rules for Life, I think, by Jordan Peterson, is one. It's not a real estate book or anything. It's just kind of like just helps you. I don't know, for me, it was just grounding. Like, hey, here's kind of the things that have worked for this guy and that he's found that could work for you, right? Like you said, you're working out and you have a performance base, and somebody's telling you what to do to work out and what lifts to do and when to do it. This is just more like a life, kind of like, hey, here's what I do and here's what's worked for me, and just just some guidelines. And so that was a good one. That was a good one just to see. Yeah. So
that's awesome. You talked about I want to touch on this really quick.
Yeah.
You talked about the importance of your partner and just the impact that can have on your business. Like, give you the floor. We got Mother's Day coming up, so give this shout out. And this episode might be after Mother's Day, so it might be a late shout out, but I'll give you the floor to just talk about your family and kind of like how that drives you, how that's influenced your business.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if this is coming out later, I got a third child on the way.
There we go.
Due on the 15th of May.
Let's go.
By the time this comes out, I'm sure he'll be here. It's a boy. So yeah, man, that's gotta be your why. I mean, it doesn't have to be your why. It's my why though, right? So that's why, and I think our generation too is a little different to where we're not just working so that we can have a good life after retirement or anything. Like at least in my opinion, it's like, hey, let's work and live simultaneously. Like I want my work to be kind of my life, but to be able to do the things I want to do. Not, hey, let me just grind for 50 years and then I'll do whatever.
Then I'll live.
Right. Exactly. So I think that's been just kind of my philosophy. Like, hey, let's work really hard, but also, I don't want to say work hard, play hard, because everybody says that, but just be with the family and just have a career that you can also be with the family a lot more. So.
And your wife's been super supportive.
So supportive. And it's a learning curve too, man. It's like, the first year is tough. Like how's our schedules going to work out? And my family's growing and your lifestyles are always evolving. So how do we, if a life event happens, like what's my schedule now? Right? Like take off a couple of weeks when the baby's born and like have somebody cover for me and stuff like that. But you wouldn't be able to do this. I don't know how people do this, without a partner or a spouse, somebody helping. It's been really good. So definitely need that backbone. Happy Mother's Day. I don't know which camera to look at.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Clay, thanks so much for being on the podcast. I know agents, everybody that's watching will get a ton of value from it. So appreciate your time today, Amir.
Teddy, of course.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.